Okay, we're going to try something new today. This is Unit 2, Lesson 1. It's a Monday, and I decided I want to get you ready for like video lessons because there's gonna be a time or two this year probably where I get sick or something, and I'm not gonna be able to be there. And if I don't get like a few of the math teachers to sub for my class, what I found works really well is video lessons. So I'm gonna try it out this Monday. Well, it's gonna be today when you watch this video. But this is another way you can learn kind of on your own. You don't need me to be there leading a slide presentation. So here we go. We're just going to do Unit 2, Lesson 1, Congruent Parts, Part 1. So the first thing I'm going to do is give you some directions. So this one's pretty simple. 1.1, notice and wonder, transformed rectangles. So what do you notice? What do you wonder? What I would like you to do for each is just write notice and wonder. Notice and wonder. Notice, wonder, and notice, wonder. Okay. So we're there. I'm going to give you 2 minutes to just kind of think. What do you notice? What do you wonder? Now this is on page 170. Reminder, this is think time, and you can reference your workbook. Okay, here we go. So now I want you to make sure you get a noticing and wondering for each. So for figure A, I notice no primes. So make sure you get a noticing and a wondering for each. What do I wonder? Is this the pre-image? So that's kind of what I'm looking for. So get a noticing and wondering for each. Okay, that's 6 minutes. So during the next 3 minutes, I'd like you to walk up to the standing desk where I'll be located and just show me your work. And if you do that, I will ask you to add 3 more points to your name. So everybody starts with 1, and I'll give you 3 more if you show me your work. Now, during this 3 minutes, I'm going to write some answers down for you. Give you some ideas if you're stuck. What I noticed here is that this one to me this looks like a translation, R to R prime, and a reflection over line, Q prime, R prime. So looks like a translation plus reflection. What do I wonder? Why the primes? Is it the image? So move on ahead to C, notice and wonder. If you haven't already. Now this one, I noticed that R goes to R, but S goes to P. So, and then if you flipped it, R to Q, but S and P are in the wrong locations. So I notice, I notice prime labels, but I wonder, is the order correct? Okay, let's go to this one here. Got PQRS. Let's go R to R prime. And then I want to reflect. So R and Q line up. And then I'm going to reflect one more time. So S and P line up. So I notice a translation and 2 reflections. Seem to make it work. I wonder, is A congruent to D? Okay. So you have about 1 minute to show me your work, and if you do, I'll give you some points. And if you don't, just make sure you get your work done for 1.1. Notice and wonder for each figure. Still have about 40 seconds to show me your work, and then if you do, I will give you another 3 points. Okay, that was 11 minutes, so let's move on to the next one. The next one is 1.2. I'm going to take the first minute just to read the directions. So it says triangle ABC is congruent to triangle DEF. So they are telling you, they're given this statement, triangle ABC is congruent to triangle DEF. Okay, so the next step I want you to do is trace and label ABC with your patty paper. So here we go. A, B, C, connect your dots. There's ABC. Now, to make this a little easier, I want you to label this 1, 2, 3. And also do that on the patty paper. So 1, 2, and 3. You have a whole nother minute to do that. Okay, here's the first question. Find a sequence of rigid motions that takes A, B, C to D, E, F. So the one I see is translate B to E. Now you can't reflect over a point, so you would have to draw an auxiliary line in order to reflect. So I'm going to do a rotation instead. So rotate until C aligns with F. And then reflect over E, F. And you got to write those down. So number 1 was a translation. B, E. It's your directed line segment. Number 2, rotate. Your center was E. Direction was clockwise. Degrees, I'm going to teach you something new. You can say this: until point C aligns with F. And technically this is C prime because we translated it and rotated it. Okay, well done. And then last but not least, number 3 is we reflect over line EF. So one last time, there to there, there to there, reflect to there. Now, these labels come in super handy, so just go 1, 2, and 3. Now, I want you to take a couple minutes. Let's go 2 whole minutes to answer 2, 3, and 4. So go ahead and answer 2, 3, and 4. There's a sentence frame for you for number 3. So why is BC congruent to EF? So BC is congruent to EF, or these segments are congruent because, so why is BC and EF, why did we decide those are congruent? Well, because our series of rigid transformations translations, rotations, reflections, any rigid transformation that's preserves shape and size. And BC and EF are corresponding sides. Okay. we gotta justify that angle A, B, C, this one here, is congruent to D, E, F, this one here. So why is this angle right here congruent to this angle right here? So angle ABC is congruent to DEF because, same answer, rigid transformations. Preserve angle measures. And these are corresponding angles. Okay, let's take a break. So 10 minutes, and I will be back in 10 minutes. The next thing you're gonna do is brain break. Now, it's a quiet day, so we're gonna go until 21 to 31 minutes in the video. So for this, what I'm looking for is you to find some homework to do on Chromebooks, or you can quietly take a nap, or I'll allow you to quietly visit with friends. But we are going to be back at the 31-minute mark on the video. Now, during this brain break, if you show me your work for 1.2, that equals 5 points. So show me your work for 1.2, and that equals 5 points. Okay, I will be back in about 8 minutes. Okay, so brain break's over. So here we go. We are going to do (1.3). Draw a triangle. Okay, so all you got to do on this is just follow the directions. That's all you got to do. Follow the directions. Okay, draw a triangle. Easy. Just need 3 points. That's all you need for a triangle. 3 points. Okay, this is clearly the longest side that I drew. I'm just gonna measure it. It's 5.5. So AC, longest side. For me, AC equaled 5.5 centimeters. So I gotta find the midpoint of the longest side, so A to C. So please measure your longest side and then divide it by 2. So you may need a calculator. 5.5 divided by 2 equals 2.75. So my midpoint is right here. The next thing you need to do is trace A, B, C and label all your points. I'm also going to make a couple of labels for my sides and my angles. Okay, I'm done with 1 and 2. Now I have to rotate my triangle 180 degrees using the midpoint as the center. So you go 180. For that, you can go either direction, but you're going to end up here. be known as B prime. Next up, you're going to have to label the corresponding parts and mark what must be congruent. So by labeling your patty paper, it makes this step super easy. This one's going to be 2. This one's going to be 1. This angle right here. Well, let's connect the dots here. So you rotate it. You're here, and then you're going to label things. Step 4 is done. Now you got to make a conjecture and justify it. What type of quadrilateral have you formed? What is the definition of that quadrilateral type? Why must the quadrilateral you have fit the definition? So you got to answer A, B, and C. What type? What's the definition? And why does it fit the definition? So start answering those, and then I'll come in and help you out. Okay, what type of quadrilateral is this? This is known as a parallelogram. What's the definition? Opposite sides are parallel. Opposite sides are congruent. Opposite angles are also congruent. So this whole angle BA, B prime, this whole thing consists of the angle we marked with 1 and 3. As does this 1 and 3. This one is 2. This one is 2. So opposite angles are congruent. We marked this with 1 mark. We marked this with 1. AB is congruent to B prime, A prime. BC is congruent to B prime, C prime. Opposite sides are congruent. This side is shared after the rotation. And I'm not going to go into why, but the opposite sides are also parallel. Okay, that's 1.3. So for the next lesson 1 summary, I want you to read this later at home. Right now, in the next 2 minutes, I want you to show me your workbook and then put away materials. And if you do those 2 things, I will give you 5 points. Next up's the cool down. But in the next minute or so, show me your workbook, put away your materials. If you do those 2 things, I'll give you 5 points. Okay, I have 5 minutes left, so just like in class, I'm gonna do the cool down, but first your homework assignment is all practice problems for Unit 2, Lesson 1, and then also the cool down. This is the cool down right here. Okay, so once we're done with the cool down, you can go grab your phone, and then we'll be done. So triangle A prime, B prime, C prime is a reflection of triangle A, B, C across the line B, C. So if we reflect this first triangle over this line of reflection, it's here. So you need to prove that ray BC, so you need to prove that ray BC is the angle bisector of angle A prime, A, B, A prime. So you have to prove that this line divides this angle into two equal angles here. So this one is so easy. A prime C equals C prime. A B equals B prime. Okay. So we got to prove this angle equals this angle, which is so simple. Pretty soon you'll just answer this in like 2 seconds, but I want to show you the proof. So we're just going to label things here. We're going for this one though. All you really need to do is label this one, because that's what we're trying to prove. So, because a reflection, because a reflection is a rigid transformation, corresponding angles are congruent. So, angle A, B prime, C, right here. Angle A, B prime, C. When reflected over BC will be congruent to there it is, A prime, B, C. A prime, B, C. And that is it. Okay, grab your phones, and that is known as a video lesson. We're going to try those on Mondays.